Hey, hello, you're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. A few minutes riffing on IT and IT security. Today, talking about CCleaner, which was the AV, bundled with a V, that was distributed recently and found out by Cisco Talos. Yesterday, I was with Quicken Loans, right? I was with the family of companies, and they did a tech event, a QL Tech conference. It was really cool. It was like lots of folks, lots of inside QL folks, lots of outside experts coming in. Great vibe, great time. And one of the things I was talking about was, securing without slowing. This concept of DevOps is going faster, IT is going faster with the cloud. How can we add security to these things without slowing down the folks that are getting the job done? And the point I was making was the very, very importance of the build pipeline. The build pipeline, the CI/CD, the integration and deployment pipeline, is the life breath now of DevOps and of so many different dev teams. And it can be difficult to protect. Now, the tip for you is look at CCleaner, which I'm about to dig into. Make sure you're not running CCleaner, the vulnerable version at least. But think about this more from a DevOps perspective, more from a build perspective. All right, so pause that. Now, CCleaner antivirus that's distributed by Avast, right? Cisco noticed some weird traffic coming out of it, Cisco Talos. They looked at the binaries, and what they found was version 5.3.3 from about August 15th to about September 12th, so maybe about a month. That particular version was bundled with this piece of malware. This piece of malware that does command and control access into the host. Now, of course, CCleaner in every AV runs a system which has more permissions than administrator, so this is kind of a big deal. Now, I'm not going to talk about the irony of a antivirus software bundled with a virus. I'm not going to talk about whether or not you should use CCleaner versus any other vendor. Who knows? All vendors have problems. What I do think was really interesting about this is that if I tell you a piece of software was bundled with malware, you go, Wolf, I know what you're about to say next. The control for that. And I go, yes, you know. And they're like, yeah. What you do is you check the signature, right? We all do like MD5 hashes to make sure that the file we're downloading is really the file that was built. Or you check to make sure it's signed code. And that signature is something that only the person who's building the code actually deploys, right? Well, you know this. This is the way to do it. Trouble is, this particular version of CCleaner with the malware 5.3.3, August to September, which was downloaded by perhaps 5 million people a week. That's their estimate. 5 million people a week, so 4 weeks, 20 million downloads. This particular version was signed. It was code signed by CCleaner with their certificate. What that means is that their build process was probably compromised. What that means is, for a period of time, some attacker got into the build pipeline, right? That integration pipeline for CCleaner and injected malware before the code was signed. So ejected malware, it was built, it was signed, it was published. That's pretty scary. We're hoping that it's been cleaned up. New versions do not have this problem, but I would put forward this. If you're running a dev team, if you're running a DevOps team, 1, sign your code. Please sign your code. 2, make sure you provide MD5 hashes, okay? But 3, most importantly, and something that a lot of people are not talking about right now, is protect that pipeline. Protect that pipeline very, very strongly with good access controls, good permissions and monitoring around it, because once we've got a trust relationship, right? You trust me, I trust you, I'm giving you software, please install it in your box, run it in a system, and call back to my house so I can, once we have that trust relationship and you're checking signatures, you got to maintain that trust, right? You got to honor that trust. And how do we honor that trust? By protecting the build pipeline so that the code we're actually putting out in a signed way is the code we meant. That's my 2 cents. It's not easy to do. Do you have any tips for it? Protecting the build pipeline? Comments, social media. Hit me up. Cheers.